Welcome to the Yoga Anatomy and Physiology module of 100-hour yoga teacher training. Let's begin. So for this module, we will focus on functional movement, and we have 4 designing outcomes. First, we want you as future yoga teachers to understand the body's natural functions. So in this module, we will learn about the human body from the most basic structure, which is the cell, up to when the cells have formed a group of organs, which is our bodies. We will also try to understand our body system's natural functions as well as our natural movement patterns. Next, you should be able to understand and explain the anatomy of the breath. How does our respiratory system function? And how does our breath play a role in regulating our body's response to external stimuli and internal processes? We want you to become chemically aware of your own movement in asanas, pranayama, meditation, and even your daily life by applying the principles of biomechanics in how we move, and hopefully transfer that knowledge into practical skills that will preserve the health of our physical body. You'll learn that as we dissect each asana, that there's a safe way to come into and move out of each posture in a way that feels safe and pleasant to the body. And finally, you will learn how to observe your own bodies of your students, our limitations in our range of motion, and ultimately be able to provide safe postural modifications should you or your students require them. So let's dive right in. So why do we need to study yoga anatomy, and why do we need to understand it? Well, the answer is very simple. Carrying out the most basic tasks of our day-to-day life requires us to use our human body. Hence, in order to preserve the physical body, we must understand how to move efficiently without putting unnecessary stress to our joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendons. Because even in our most mundane of tasks, say, for example, keeping our surroundings neat and tidy, carrying our groceries, playing with our children or pets, and dancing with our loved ones, we must consider how these daily movements affect the health of our muscles, joints, ligaments, and tendons, so that we not only preserve the physical body, but also preserve our quality of life as we age. When we learn the fundamentals of yoga anatomy, we will place emphasis on optimum functional movement and apply the principles of biomechanics to the yoga asanas that we practice. Knowing how to safely get into and come out of a yoga posture is a skill that becomes most useful when we apply it to our day-to-day lives. Now, practicing yoga asana is generally a low-impact activity. As such, injuries don't normally occur in a split second, as it often does in more high-impact activities such as running or sports. However, we do need to keep in mind that practicing asanas does put us at a risk of repetitive injuries. That is, if we keep repeating the same movement patterns without caution as to how these movements impact our bodies, we could risk damaging our joints, muscles, ligaments, and tendons. And we don't want that. The reason why we're practicing yoga is so that we could improve our health and our quality of life. So an injury is counterintuitive to the practice. As yoga practitioners and ultimately yoga teachers, hopefully, we must understand how to process each asana or posture from the moment we conceptualize the movement in our minds to the way we execute the movement, with safety and well-being always at the forefront. It is essential how to understand how our mind and muscles work together to create a movement that is safe and promotes optimum health for our physical well-being. And furthermore, as we progress in our studies, we'll also come to understand why a physically healthy body is crucial for long-term mental and emotional well-being. So to end this introduction, I'll leave you with a quote from Leslie Kaminoff, who is the co-author of the book Yoga Anatomy. The deepest principles of yoga are based on a subtle and profound appreciation of how the human system is constructed. The subject of yoga is self, and the self is dwelling in a physical body. We require our body's optimum health for us to have the best quality of life possible. And learning yoga anatomy is just one important facet to ensure that we preserve our bodies for the years of our lives to come, and to encourage our students to do the same. I hope you enjoy your studies, and if you have any questions, feel free to utilize the contact function of this course. You can always reach me via email, leona@bodhiyogacenter.com, and I hope you learn from this journey.